As you can see, this is called KakaManga, and this is the app that you can get on your iOS and Android-based devices, which is also the best manga app that you can get for free. Actually, even paid, I think it's probably the best that you can get, the best that is out there. This is the KakaManga app. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you all the genres we get with it. So if you just go ahead and click on all, as you can see, so many mangas we have on here. It's never gonna end. It's pretty much endless library of these. So guys, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can get it. But one thing I do want to mention is that this is not gonna be on the App Store or the Play Store for the matter. If you just go ahead and look for it, let me go ahead and do that. So as you can see, it returns no results because it's not really an app that you can get off of the App Store or the Play Store on your Android devices. But I'm gonna show you exactly how you can still get it. So guys, without further ado, let's get started with this tutorial. So essentially, this is an app which is not on the official App Store or Play Store because of like the copyright stuff. They don't actually own all of these, I think, so that's why they can't actually have it there. But you can still download it on your devices. So the way we do this is using a Tweak Store, a third-party app store essentially that lets us add apps on the devices, like basically tweaked apps or the modded apps on the Androids. It's like Happy Mod if you've heard of it, or Tweakbox, and all of those things like that. So it's going to be really simple. The first thing that we have to do though, if you haven't really tried to like ever install the Tweaked app before or modded app before, is go ahead and make sure the device that we actually using for this is all good for this, so we can actually install the app and it's functional. So what you're going to do for that if you are on an iOS device is follow as I do. If you're using an Android, just wait like 30 seconds. We'll move onto that in 30 seconds. But first of all, we're going to do the iOS devices. So it doesn't really matter what iOS device you're using, be it an iPhone, iPod, or iPad. What you're going to do is just go ahead and open up your settings and simply scroll down to the general settings. Once you're on the general, just click on About. And it will tell you the exact iPhone software version that you have. So it can be any software version, but what we have to basically check for here is that if you have any iOS version, which is over iOS 8, which is like super old, you shouldn't have anything under 8. But if it's anything under 8, you don't have to do any of that. But if it's over iOS version 8, you're going to have to go ahead and do exactly as I do, which is going to be simply going ahead and heading back to the general setting once again. And simply scrolling down to this option, as you can see, which is right under the iPhone storage, which is the refresh section. And it's going to take you to this page, which is going to have all the stuff that you have on your device. What you're going to do here is simply look for the top option, as you can see right there, and make sure this option right there is set to on, and it says exactly like that. If it says anything else, because it can also say something like this, let me show you. So you can also say like Wi-Fi, or it can say off. So if it says either of those, you're going to have to go ahead and click on it and simply set it at the bottom most options that you have. And that's all you have to do, and it's going to be done. Then just go ahead and head back. So the last thing we have to do after this is go ahead and make sure our device is not in a low power mode, because we can't actually install apps once it's on there. Actually, you can, I think, but the installation process is super slow because it actually doesn't allow the background processing. So you can see it says low power mode temporarily reduces background activity like downloads and mail fetch and all that. So just go ahead and actually make sure this is set to off and it's not set to on. It's going to be off by default, but you're going to have to make sure this is set to off. And a good way, like a quick way to actually find this out, if your battery icon looks like this on your iOS device is like yellow, in that case, just simply go ahead and head over to the setting and turn it off. And simply head back. You can just go ahead and close it out. So that's all we have to do to prepare the iOS devices. For the Android device, it's going to be actually quite simple as well. So just go ahead and open up your settings and simply scroll down just like we did on the iOS devices. And it's going to be this option under this location and all that, security, battery, all this. Just go ahead and click on battery. And it's going to open the battery settings, which actually have a lot of options. Now, what you have to do here is make sure exactly what we did on the iOS devices and make sure this option, which is power saving mode, is set to off, because it basically does the same exact stuff that we have on the iOS devices. So I highly recommend that you actually do this, even though this is not like necessary on Android devices. But what I've noticed, like a lot of people, when they have issues regarding the modded apps, it's usually this is what's going on. So just go ahead and make sure you actually set it to off. Now, on some Android devices, this option may not even exist. If that's the case, you don't really have to worry about it. But if you actually have the option, just go ahead and make sure you set it to that. So once that is done, let's go ahead and head back to the iOS device so we can move on with the rest of the process. So let me go ahead and grab it. So as you can see, this is the iOS device once again. Now it's going to be quite simple. It doesn't matter if you're using Android. Just go ahead and open up Chrome if you are on Android. And if you are on iOS, just go open up Safari. You can also use Chrome. It doesn't really matter. But just head over to this, navigate over to the site. Once you're there, just go ahead and click on search and simply search for what you're looking for here. So it's going to be the app, which is KakaManga. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can see it says best manga app. Just go ahead and click on it and click on start. And that's going to start like adding all the stuff that needs to be compiled on the device or like unpacked on the device, I think. And it's not going to take more than a few seconds. Just wait for this to happen. It's usually going to take probably like 5 to 10 seconds. This really depends. Like if you have a super fast internet connection, it might take a few seconds. If you have a slow one, it can take like 30 seconds. So once it's done, it's going to take you to this page. As you can see, this is it. And it's going to tell you exactly what you have to do to basically unpack the app. Just go ahead and read and simply click on it and click on open. And simply wait for it to actually process. Now you actually have to spend a certain amount of time on here because it actually takes time for the apps to unpack. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly spend the time that it asks, which is about half a minute. Now I do recommend that you do a little more just to be like certain that it goes through. So let's go ahead and quickly do this. So once that is done, just go ahead and exit it out. And do the same with the last one that we have. Just go ahead and open it up as well. So once that is done, just go ahead and simply exit it out and head back to your browser once again. And you should see that it says something like this. It went through and all. Once it says that, just go ahead and exit it out. And you should see the KakaManga on your device. If you don't see it, just restart your device or respring it just by locking it and simply unlocking it. And you just see it right there. And guys, that is how simple it is. Again, that's probably the best app, as I already mentioned. You should definitely use this if you actually read manga. And with that, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out. Make sure you subscribe because 99% of you are actually not subscribed. It's really bad statistic, I think, but please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.